Christmas ends today. How many people ended Christmas on the 26th? On the 1st? On the 2nd? On Epiphany. Christmas ends today. The season of Christmas really ends today, and that's why this is not a mistake. This is a visual to remind us that the season of Christmas goes through the season of the baptism of the Lord. And why is that important? What is baptism all about? A very simple way to help us remember. Baptism is like cleaning your windshield so you can see what to do. Cleaning the windshield of your soul, of your good intentions, of all the shoulds and oughts and maybes and resolutions. That's what baptism is all about. We clean the windshield so we can see what to do. Do you realize that? Sometimes people say, well, I'm baptized a Catholic. And I say, well, that's great. Sometimes they look really worried when they say that. To be baptized means that you are signing up to do something good and positive in the world. That's what it means to be baptized. And that's what our call is in 2015. The events of the past week, traumatizing. Events toward the end of the year, traumatizing. So the question that I always like to ask at the beginning of a new year, are we a part of the problem or the solution? Our baptism says that we are a part of the solution. A solution that calls us to a non-violent approach to responding. Doesn't that seem so counterintuitive? When someone is aggressive, what is our natural inclination? Be aggressive back, right? That's human. That's why we're baptized. Because God shows us another way. God shows us that our aggression needs to be channeled in a good and positive, healthy fashion. Because if it's not, all it's going to do is cause what? More aggression. We can think about that in a global sense, but can we also think about that just personally? Husbands and wives, friends, classmates, roommates, priests. What does aggression in relationship solve? It elevates your blood pressure, alienates you from communication, and you don't get anywhere. You probably get sick. There's enough sickness going around the world. Yesterday, Father Dominic and I went to see Selma. And if you want to get sick, but then get well real quick, go see that movie. It's not 12 years a slave, so you're not held in those moments that you're held in. But this is a movie that's all about what people can do when they believe that they are truly baptized. Baptism, friends, is so much more than wearing a badge. It's a way of life that helps us through moments that are difficult and hard and make no sense to keep going. One of the beautiful things about that movie was that it wasn't just focused on Martin Luther King. It was focused on all the people around him and his colleagues who helped him to keep going. And that's what church is all about. Church helps you and I not only to be baptized, but to keep going. In a world that sometimes says stop. In a world that sometimes beats it out of you. Even we beat it out of each other. Baptism says that there's something greater than ourselves, greater than our opinions, greater than our bad moods, our bad choices. Baptism says God has overcome the world. And if we dare step into those waters that are troubled by the Spirit, we will be troubled ourselves until peace is a reality in our personal relationships as well as in our world. Peace ceases to be a punchline when we're baptized. and becomes a way of life. So what are our resolutions this year? Trim this, buff this. Okay? Our theme this year is, Lord, I believe. And everybody sitting here believes. But there's a second part to our theme. Help my unbelief. Maybe that can be our resolution this year. Help my unbelief. Don't just sit in your room spinning. Sit in your past spinning. Step out in faith and say, what will help my unbelief to turn into something positive that I can use to build God's kingdom? I don't know about you, but building God's kingdom is tiring, isn't it? And we could turn it into lovely rhetoric. But one of the things I saw in that movie was not rhetoric. I saw action. It's a positive scene in that movie after they're shut down the first time on that bridge in Selma, and all the white folk and other people come to join them, and they're ready to march and charge into glory. And what does Martin Luther King do? And the police are waiting. He kneels down and he prays. And why does he do that? Because he's baptized. When you're baptized, we realize that it's not about us. We have to ask the deeper question, what is the right thing to do? And to follow it. And so he kneels down, and he turns around and he goes back. And everybody's upset. Everybody came this far, and we were going to have a revolution. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Is that ever us? Sometimes our revolutions aren't peaceful. They're violent. But baptism, friends, is about a revolution of love. And that's what overcomes the world. I want to leave you with a few little things from our Holy Father. He made some suggestions for New Year's resolutions, so I'm going to leave you with those. So close your eyes if you're trusting, and leave them open if you're not trusting. Here they come from our Holy Father. This is what he offers us as suggestions this year. Take care of your spiritual life, your relationship with God, because this is the very backbone of everything that we are. Take care of your family life, giving your children and loved ones not just money, but most of all, your time, attention, and love. Take care of your relationships with others, transforming your faith into life and your words into good works, especially upon behalf of the needy. Be careful of how you speak. Purify your tongue of offensive words, vulgarity, and worldly decadence. Heal the wounds of the heart with the oil of forgiveness, forgiving those who have hurt you, and medicating the wounds that we have caused to others. Look after your work, doing it with enthusiasm, humility, competence, and passion, with a spirit that knows how to thank God. Be careful of envy, lust, hatred, and negative feelings that devour our interior peace. Negative feelings do that and transform us into destructive people. Watch out for anger that leads to vengeance, for laziness that leads to existential euthanasia, and for pointing fingers at others, which leads to pride, and for complaining continually, which leads to desperation. Finally, take care of your brothers and sisters who are weaker, the elderly, the sick, the hungry, the homeless, and strangers, because God will remember this.